So as usual, we'll begin with a little bit of mindfulness. So just coming onto your back here. And close your eyes. This is maybe my favorite part of the class. As I think some of you know, I started with meditation, not with doing postures. And so the meditative part of yoga has always been very, very important to me. So what is meditation? Meditation is just noticing what is without judgment, without trying to change or alter what is. So a deep level of sort of acceptance and a relaxation with what you find. So I hope you feel great this afternoon. You're like your body feels great, your heart feels great, your mind is clear and focused. But we're human beings, and so there's no way that I've learned of to sustain that indefinitely. We go through different states. It's just a part of being human. But oddly, when we stop resisting the different states, oddly, they all become somewhat enjoyable. They all become something we can actually enjoy the contrast, the ride. So just seeing how much you can relax into this moment as it presents itself without deciding you're going to reject it or that it should feel different than it does. All right, let's begin now to change our breathing. So we inhale belly, ribs, upper chest, exhale, chest, ribs, belly. And then we layer on the ujjayi sound, which is that hissing sound like you're fogging a mirror, but with your mouth closed. I don't know about you, but I feel like I could stay here for the next hour just relaxing and breathing like that. But we have a class to do. So let's bring our right leg in and we'll cradle that leg and just begin moving it gently and feeling into the hip and the leg. And again, if I don't have any expectation, I don't have any judgment, what do I find? Today, I'm not finding much pain or soreness, not a lot of stiffness. My hip overall feels pretty good, and that's just today. It could be different tomorrow. Once we've stretched out and warmed up that leg, we can grab a strap, grab the foot, or grab the big toe as we extend the leg straight up. So one thing I do feel is a little bit of pulling on my heel. It's been like that for a few weeks and not exactly sure what is causing that, but that's something I'm investigating with my massage therapist. So we're going to try and see if we can relieve that strain. So it's something I've been noticing. This is something I encourage you to do when you notice these sorts of things. You very often it's an indicator of something. It's like the light on your dashboard saying check engine. All right, from there we take the leg out to the side and we want to stretch the inside of the thigh, and that's because that relates very much with one of our peak postures today. So drop that leg out to the side. Again, feel free to use a strap, and the leg may not reach all the way to the ground. That's perfectly fine. Now again, what do you feel here? Interestingly, I feel it in my left hip. So the opposite hip, I feel a little bit back hip, a little bit of stretching there. So this points to the fact that the whole body is interconnected. And so what we do to one part of the body will definitely impact other parts of the body. Interestingly, as I hold it, that sensation is very quickly dissipating. So it may just be a little bit of tightness, you know, from not having moved a lot yet today. Okay, let's inhale back to center. We'll exhale, release that leg, and take a moment just to feel both sides. What do we feel? What do we notice? So I definitely feel this leg it's like it's tingling. It's vibrating. It just feels more alive, more vibrant. You could also say it's in a little more pain. It's speaking to me a little more. So it's not always just about a good feeling. Sometimes it can be, it may not be pleasant. All right, let's do the other side. So we bring the left leg in. Again, the hips do not need to be symmetrical. So what do I find as I bring that leg in and begin to move it around a little bit? Pretty similar. A little bit maybe more in this hip or leg. This, of course, was my bad hip for a long time. Most of that has gone away. I'd say all of it has. But I'm definitely noticing a difference today, and that could be because of whatever's left over from that injury. Okay, then we take the strap or the toe, we extend it up for a little hamstring stretch here. And on this side, I do not feel that pain in my heels. So again, it's very interesting where we get these pains. And again, I don't know where that came from. This is the important thing to understand. Again, if you're in your 20s or 30s, you've probably never experienced anything like this. But when you get a little older, just pains and aches and little things can show up out of nowhere, seemingly out of nowhere. So you want to notice those things, and my advice is you want to do something about them. Okay, from there, let's drop that leg out to the side. And we want that stretch in the inside of the thigh. And I'm speaking, but I hope you are just doing that slow, deep breathing throughout, because that will help your nervous system to let go of that tension more quickly and more fully. I'm checking on this side. I feel a little bit in my side and my back, but not as much on the first side. And again, I imagine that's just probably just a usual tension that I have here in my body that maybe I've never noticed before. Okay, let's inhale back to center and exhale as we release that leg, and we'll take a breath. Just checking back in, what do we feel here? So both hips or both legs now feeling much more balanced. Let's bring those legs in, and we will rock and roll up to seated and then come into our tabletop position. Let's do a few cat-cows here. So, back feels good. Again, I share this stuff with you not because you're actually interested in how my body feels, but so that you can do the same. So you're just checking, what do I feel as I go through these different warm-ups? So again, my back is an area that I've had trouble with in the past, but today it feels very strong. It feels good. Coming back to neutral, we tuck those toes, lift the hips, and we can come into our down dog. And then same with my toes, my feet. So this might be an area where I feel that ankle, but I don't for whatever reason. So this position somehow doesn't seem to put strain on that problem I'm having with my heel. Not sure why. I do feel a lot of tension in my calves, and this is something that can lead to things like plantar fasciitis and pain in the foot and the heel. So this is what my massage therapist and I are going to look at, is see if we can release those calves. All right, so full expression of down dog. I think everyone here today knows what that looks like, so I'm not going to go over it. As we exhale, we walk our feet to the hands, coming into a ragdoll. And we can dangle at the front of the mat here. This, for me, is a great test of the condition of the back. Ideally, we could be completely relaxed and we don't feel any vulnerability in the back. I feel little. So again, there's just a little bit of, I think vulnerability is really the best word, that it feels like if I were to move in the wrong way, there might be a shooting pain or something in my back. It's very mild, but it is there. I notice it. So ideally, you don't feel that. All right, arms relaxed. We inhale, we gradually roll up to standing, stacking ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and heels. Okay, so now we will begin our slightly more vigorous stage of our warm-up routine, which is the sun salutation. On the inhale, we draw the arms up, touch palms, lift the heart. Let's take a breath or two here in our standing back bend. Again, gives us a little bit of time to check in what we're feeling. Let's inhale through center, and we exhale to the forward fold. See if you can get your palms flat here. So I really want you to fold in, bend the knees if necessary. Let your neck relax. As we inhale, we'll come to fingertips or take hands to shins, lengthening out the spine. Then as we exhale, we plant the hands, step the right foot and then the left foot to the top of a push-up for plank pose. Okay, so again, this is one I think you're all very familiar with, so we won't go over it today. Take a deep breath, exhale halfway down, elbows hug the ribs. And then exhale all the way down. Good, and then with the inhale, we lift the hands, head, neck, and chest. So we're just using those back muscles. Now, as I do this, I feel a wave of heat immediately. Now, I'm not saying that that's what you should feel, but these are the kinds of things I want you to notice. And it doesn't really feel quote unquote good. It feels kind of like overstimulation or something like that. So again, it's the kind of thing that we might choose to come out of a posture early because we're feeling these unpleasant sensations and we interpret them as dangerous or unpleasant. We want to run away from them. But what we're trying to cultivate with yoga is equanimity. So we're not running away from something just because it's uncomfortable. We'll stop or run away if it's actually dangerous. But there's a huge gulf between uncomfortable and actually dangerous. So really, there shouldn't be anything dangerous about what we're doing here. Good. Exhale, let's come down. And we'll inhale to a tabletop and exhale to a downward dog. So again, that is something I experience when I do the back bend. I also experience when I do resistance training. It's like a kind of a wave of heat. And it's not pleasant. I don't enjoy it. But I've learned to be able to push through. Okay, let's inhale the toes, and we'll exhale to the front edge of the mat. We inhale to standing back bend, and then grabbing the right wrist, we exhale to our half moon pose, looking up, rolling that shoulder back, and stretching the side. Taking a few breaths, just really trying to even out that stretch. Let's inhale to center, switch wrists, and exhale to the other side. Good, let's inhale back to center, and we exhale to the forward fold. Inhale to half lift, and then exhale, step the left foot. Oh wait, is this the first one? I think this is our second one. Left foot and then right foot, top of the push-up. Okay, from there, knees up or down, take a deep breath, exhale halfway down and take a breath there. And then exhale all the way down. This time, inhale, pressing into the hands, lift head, neck, chest, abdomen, but keep your pelvis on the ground and try to be honest with yourself. I see people in person and they're lifting their hips way up, and that indicates two things. One, you're just not being honest with yourself, or two, you don't have much body awareness. Either way, there's room for improvement there, okay? So keep that pelvis down. Good, exhale, come down. Inhale, top of the push-up, and exhale, hips up and back. You could say the worst thing we can do is lie to ourselves, right? At least we should know be honest with ourselves, be truthful with ourselves, even if we can't with others, if we're too afraid to be honest with others. Okay, from here, let's inhale to the toes. We're going to exhale to the front edge of the mat. Inhale to standing back bend, up and back. And let's exhale to our imaginary seat chair pose. This is another one where I get a wave of heat, wave of energy, however you want to describe it. But what I want you to notice is what you feel. And the longer we hold this, how does your experience evolve? What exactly is happening? So again, for most people, the longer we hear, the more they begin to experience physical sensations that might cue their brain that they're in some kind of danger, or that they need to stop immediately, or they need to do something else. So I want you to just notice those things. And unless you're in really, really bad shape, you have injuries or other problems, this is going to be safe. This posture. Most yoga is going to be like that. So, we might feel like we're dying, but we're not actually dying. And that actually gives us a very valuable experience where we can notice what sorts of things trigger us, right? What sorts of things make us feel like, oh my God, I'm dying. I need to stop this right now. And we might learn that, oh, I can feel like I'm dying, but I'm not actually dying, right? I can actually relax even in situations where I feel like this really horrible thing is happening. All right, let's inhale, stand all the way up, and exhale, forward fold. We inhale to the half lift and exhale to the bottom of a push-up. So I can actually feel the heat that was generated by that posture. So I can feel my hands are clammy. I can feel the perspiration on my chest and my forehead. So it feels like heat, and I'd say it actually is heat that's being generated when I'm holding those strength postures, because I can actually feel the perspiration. All right, so today we're going to look at our side planks. So the first one, we inhale the right leg up and back, and we exhale the knee to the ground. And then we inhale and stack the left hip above the right hip, and then the left shoulder above the right shoulder. So hopefully you can see my chest is open, my right waist is long, and everything is stacked up. Now the key here is I want this shoulder engaged. Okay, so we're not collapsing. Can you see when I collapse what happens? So that's the difference between engaged muscles and relaxed muscles. We want those muscles engaged. Good, let's exhale the hand down. Inhale the right leg up and back. We exhale and lunge. And we inhale to a warrior two, Vitabhadrasana 2. Okay, so front foot and knee straight ahead, knee over the heel, thigh approaching parallel, shoulders directly over the hips. The chest and hips are facing the left wall. The arms are parallel with the ground, and the gaze is out over the front fingertips. As we inhale, let's come up to Stupa, which is a transition, and we exhale to Warrior Two at the back. Now, the reason we repeat this a few times is superficial tension in the muscles responds very well to repetition, and strengthening muscle also responds very well to repetition. So there's value in just repeating these movements a few times. Okay, as we come up, as we exhale, we'll come into the goddess. So again, toes, knees, same direction, knees over the heels, thighs approach parallel. So I mean, this would be parallel, right, for me, but I can't hold that, right? It's just too intense for me. So I go right to my edge, the edge of my strength, not flexibility, because I can physically do that, right? But it just is a little too much for me strength-wise, okay? And then my arms mirror what I'm doing with the legs. Now again, immediately I feel that wave of heat. So notice what you feel as you hold these kind of power postures, these strength postures. A little bit of flexibility here, but this isn't really a stretch. It's really about kind of strengthening those glutes and those thighs, those quads. Okay, inhale, we come up, and then exhale, warrior two at the front, and then inhale and exhale, bottom of the push-up. Make your way back to downward dog. Okay, so side two, feet touch. We inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale the knee all the way to the ground. And then inhale as we stack everything up into a modified side plank. So this is pretty safe and pretty easy. If you do have trouble with this, just reach out to me, send me an email, send me a chat, and let me know if your like shoulder is hurting, and I can teach you some other things to do. Otherwise, check your left waist, left shoulder. Make sure you're looking up. Make sure you're breathing. Good, let's exhale that hand down. We inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. And then we inhale to our warrior two. So in warrior two, the front thigh is strengthening, the back hip is stretching, the arms are strengthening, and like I like to say, the arms are a feature, not a defect, because when I teach live, I see people do this all the time. Okay, and what are they doing? They're saying, I don't like this pose. But when they change the pose, they're changing the benefits of the postures. So one of the things this does is strengthen the shoulders, okay? All right, let's inhale up, stupa, and then we exhale, warrior two. Good, with the breath, warrior two. A few more times, inhale and exhale. Good, one more. And then this time, inhale up and exhale to your second goddess. So again, repetition, muscles love repetition, generally speaking. It's going to be very good, very effective for training muscle tissue. Connective tissue is a little different. Connective tissue likes time. So are we going to be here for several minutes? No, probably 30 seconds or so. It's going to feel like several minutes, but trust me, it won't be. Okay, so find your edge, let those muscles work. And again, there is benefit in holding strength as well. It's called time under tension, and it's a very efficient way to actually work the muscles. So both repetitive and holding, they both have benefits for the muscles. Okay, inhale back up and exhale, warrior two. And then inhale and exhale, bottom of the push-up. Make your way back to downward dog. All right, from down dog, let's inhale to the toes. We exhale, front edge of the mat. Inhale, standing back bend, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, and exhale to the bottom of your push-up. Make your way to the down dog. All right, from down dog, let's bring our feet to touch. We'll inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. Well, actually don't lunge. Bring your foot halfway, roll onto the edge of your left foot, and then inhale the right arm up into a second variation of the modified side plank. Okay, now again, this shoulder now is going to have to work a little harder. And you can use this foot to put more into this foot and leg to bring some relief, okay, to make the posture a little easier. But this is harder than the first one. So if it's too much, just return to the first variation by dropping the knee. Good, let's exhale that hand down. Inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, lunge, and let's inhale to a warrior two. Okay, and then from there, we inhale up to stupa. We exhale to the goddess. Feel those legs as you come into it. Inhale back up. And exhale, warrior two. Feel the legs. Good. Let's repeat that. Inhale up, warrior two. And exhale to goddess. Inhale up, warrior two. Or sorry, inhale up, stupa, exhale, warrior two. Good. Okay, from here, we go ahead and take reverse warrior or peaceful warrior. So the legs do not change at all. It's the upper body that changes. The left hand can rest on the leg here. You could reach up and grab this wrist, or you can reach around and grab the opposite thigh. All of those are perfectly fine ways to approach the posture, okay? So you do what seems to work best in your body. Good, let's inhale up, warrior two, and exhale, cartwheel down, bottom of the push-up. And from here, we'll bring feet to touch. We inhale left leg up and back. Exhale the foot part way, about halfway, and then inhale left arm up. Okay, so modified side plank, second variation. Good. From there, let's exhale that hand down. Inhale the leg up and back. Exhale, lunge. And inhale to a warrior two. Good. Take a breath. And then inhale to stupa. Exhale to goddess. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, warrior two at the back. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, warrior two. Good. Inhale, reverse or peaceful warrior. Okay, let's inhale back up and exhale as we cartwheel down to the bottom of our push-up. All right, from here, let's inhale to our toes. We exhale to the front edge of the mat. We inhale to standing back bend, up and back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to half lift or crow pose or maybe handstand. And exhale to the bottom of your push-up. Make your way back to the down dog. All right, so from our downward dog, let's bring our feet to touch and we roll to the left into a classic side plank. Okay, now again, there's a few things I want you to notice. Left shoulder is engaged. Left side body is long. Shoulders are stacked, chest is facing the wall, right? And then you'll notice I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this, okay? Why? Because it actually makes the pose easier. It might look really cool, but you're actually not doing the intended posture. You're doing something else. You've changed the type of stress and work that's created, okay? So there's a reason why the yoga postures are taught the way that they are. All right, let's take a deep breath in, exhale to a lunge, and then inhale up to warrior two. Okay, so from our warrior two, we take a breath. We inhale up to stupa. Exhale to goddess. Good. Inhale back up. Exhale warrior two at the back. Inhale reverse warrior. Exhale warrior two. Inhale stupa and exhale to goddess. Inhale to stupa and exhale to warrior two. Inhale reverse warrior. And exhale to the extended side angle. We did this a few weeks ago. Okay, so left heel is reaching to the ground. Left fingers are reaching away from that heel. You'll notice that I have basically one straight line. My whole left side of my body is one straight line from heel through fingertips. My chest is open. My right side body is long. Okay. Now, stay here if you like. If you feel like you can go a step further, then reach under the leg and bind the leg. Now, it's very important you actually hold something, okay? So you need to be holding the wrist or the fingers or a strap or towel, but you can't just have your hands reaching behind you. That's not gonna do you any good, okay? Now you can stay here with the bind or bring the back foot to meet the front foot. You're in this kind of weird squat, and then you begin to stand up, and because your leg is bound, it will come with you. Okay, so you're standing up, and then once you're here, you see if you can straighten this leg, and that's called bird paradise. Like I said, I can't get my leg all the way straight, but just do the best you can. Good. Let's release and make our way back to downward dog. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. So feet touch, rolling to the right. This time we stack everything up. Okay. Good. Exhale, lunge. And inhale to a warrior two. Take a breath. Good. Inhale, stupa. Exhale, goddess. Inhale. Exhale at the back. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, up. Exhale, stupa. Inhale. And exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. And then exhale to the extended side angle. Okay, again, stay there if you like, or bind. Okay, and then again, stay there if you like, or bring the back foot in. And you could stay here too as well. So you can really stop at any step along the way and focus on breathing and relaxing. Notice when your body goes into kind of a panic mode, you want to get out of that mode as quickly as possible. Good. Let's make our way back to downward dog. So this is a good teachable moment. I said, notice when you go into panic mode, you want to get out of that mode as quickly as possible. We're not trying to avoid that mode completely, okay? In fact, part of the value of the class is we get right to that panic point, okay? We get there, we notice it, and we bring ourselves back with awareness and breath. That's part of the value of a class like this one. So it's not, don't get stressed out, avoid uncomfortable situations or difficult situations. No, get into them and learn to manage them. It's a lot of the value that we get from doing this. Okay, let's go ahead and grab a seat. We're all stretched out and warmed up at this point. So let's take a look at some peak postures. So let's review crow first, because I know many people struggle to do any arm balance, and crow is the sort of basis of all arm balancing. So the more times we review it, the more times you practice it, the more likely you will be able to do it. And most people can. I've seen elderly people, injured people, obese people, any excuse you can think of, I've seen somebody do this posture, okay? So it's more accessible than you may believe. So the first principle is chaturanga arms, wrists, elbows, shoulders stack, okay? So no chicken wings, elbows at the sides, we pull those in, and we want to keep those arms bent. Then we place the hands on the ground, notice my arms are still bent, right? So I'm not doing this. I'm down here. So you need to get low, which is what a lot of people try and avoid. Okay, once I'm there, I shift weight from feet to hands, and you can feel it. You can feel the shift, the weight coming off of your feet. And as you do, your feet get lighter and lighter. Once they do, try just lifting one leg, letting the weight rest on the back of your arms, okay? And you can alternate back and forth. And then if that feels safe, you can do both legs at the same time. Okay, so that was 5 breaths for me, slow, controlled breaths. As I was holding it, my arms were shaking, and that's natural, that's normal. That means the muscles were being worked. And again, that doesn't mean I need to stop. Doesn't mean I need to come out of it. Doesn't mean anything dangerous is happening. When I first started doing yoga and I did the warrior poses, my front leg would shake. That's the leg that was being strengthened. It would wobble and shake. That's how sort of out of shape and weak I was at that time. Okay, so holding this also makes my arms shake. So there's probably room for improvement there. All right. So again, not something we're trying to avoid. In fact, it's something, as long as we can stay safe, we want to encourage that. We want to do that. Okay. Okay, so now for the peak posture. If you can't do the crow, I want you to keep working on that, because again, practice will allow you to progress, and it will help to strengthen whatever it is that you are struggling with. If it's flexibility, stretching will help with that, right? Doing it more often will help with that. If it's strength, then again, working those muscles, stressing them, that's going to help. Okay, so Ekapada Kondinasana 1. There are a few ways into this, but I think probably the easiest way is from a downward facing dog. Not sure about the angle, if it will be very clear what's happening here, but I'll do the best I can to explain it. From the down dog, we lift one leg up, and then I bring that leg as high up on my arm as I can. So you can try that a few times. Just bring that leg and try and touch as high as you can on the outside of the arm. Okay? Now, once you feel that you can do that, what you'd like to do is take it to the top of the arm and then straighten that leg. Okay, so you bring it and straighten it, and then lift the back leg up. So again, I don't know if you can see that very clearly on your end, what's happening, but I'm balancing on my hands, and one leg is kind of straight out in front of me, and the other leg is extending behind me. And that's called Ekapada Kondinasana 1. Like I said, it's not the hardest arm balance. It's also not the easiest. It's sort of in the middle of the road. I see a lot of students able to do this one. Usually people that can do crow, they can do this one very often pretty soon after that. Okay, so let's try the other side. Yeah, I think I'll turn so you can see this leg. Okay, so from our down dog, we inhale left leg up and back. Again, let's just try this move a few times. So we touch the top part of the arm, inhale, touch the arm, and then one more time, inhale, touch the arm, straighten it, and lift the back leg up. And again, I don't know if you can see, but I'm not actually touching the ground with anything but my hands. Now, I held the crow for 5 breaths. I'm not sure if I could hold that one for 5 breaths, especially after explaining it to you. So maybe if I wasn't talking and I were just doing my deep breathing, I'd be able to hold it. But it's stressful. It's difficult. I can do it, yes. Does that mean it's easy? Does that mean it doesn't get my heart rate up? Does it mean I don't break a sweat? No, absolutely. So again, this is a lot of the value of these things. Even though I quote unquote can do the posture, it brings me right to my limit, especially if I hold it for more than a few breaths. And that's very healthy. Again, this is what modern life has robbed us of, is these experiences where we're brought right to kind of the edge of what we can do physically. And there's a mental and emotional component as well, because again, we tend to, I'd say more often than not, people, they think they can't do something that they physically can do. So again, if you are doing something and you feel that wave of heat, you might be like, oh, I can't do this. Because just every time you feel that sensation, you have the thought, I can't do this, or I should stop, and you do. So again, it's about beginning to notice what sort of narrative or emotions we're experiencing while we're doing the postures, and begin to question whether our reaction or response is actually correct, because a lot of times it's not. A lot of times when our mind says, I can't do this, if you just say, well, I'm going to do it anyway, you find your body's fine. Okay? All right, good work, everybody. So let's go ahead and lay on our belly. We'll bring the right hand over the left hand and the forehead on the back of the hands. Just going to relax there for a moment, catch our breath. All right, so let's do a back bend. We do this one almost every week because it's so good for us. Locust, let's inhale, we lift everything up that we can lift. Good, exhale, come on down. Now I'm going to ask you, did you come out of that one early? If you did, or any other posture that you do, again, I'm just going to ask you to notice what takes you out of the pose before you get out of it. Okay, so is it a feeling? Is it an emotion? Is it a thought? Oh, I'm going to injure myself. Oh, this is going to re-injure my back. Just notice. I'm not even saying don't come out of it. I'm just saying bring some mindfulness. Okay, notice why you stop, the postures that you stop. Okay. All right, from there, let's press back to the child pose. And we'll inhale and sit up. And let's do the gate posture next, which is a side bend. It also gets a little bit in the hip, which is nice. So I'm not going to mirror this one. Left leg to the left, toes point up, left hand on the left thigh. Inhale, right arm up, and exhale as you come over. So we did some strengthening of those side bodies with our side planks. So this is a nice way to stretch them back out, especially if you breathe into your waist and ribs. Good. Inhale, let's come back, and exhale, draw that leg in. That felt really good for me. I don't know about how you guys are doing, but okay. Left. Okay, so the other side. So the right leg goes out. Inhale, left arm up, and exhale. Come over and try and find that stretch. Good. Inhale, come on up. And let's exhale to Vajrasana, sitting on our heels. Take a breath. Excellent. Okay, so next, let's do another back bend. This one is the camel pose. Okay, so we're here. And our knees and heels are hip distance or slightly wider. Have our hands on the low back here. We can tuck toes to make heels easier to grab. Inhale, lift that heart, press the hips forward. And as you exhale, begin going over your beach ball. You can grab heels. You could let the chin drop back and breathe into the front of your body. Good. Inhale, come on up. And exhale back to Vajrasana. Was that one you had to come out of early? Again, that's one when I teach in person, I see people coming out early all the time. No problem if you did, but again, were you able to notice what signal took you out of it? You know, more than it felt bad or something like that. Be a little more specific. Oh, there was a shooting pain in my back. Oh, I began to feel emotionally like I was having a panic attack. Oh, I had the thought that I might be hurting my slipped disc, right? This is the granular detail we want to begin to notice, okay? All right, continuing on. From here, we'll do the rabbit. So make sure there's some room in front of you on your mat. You're gonna reach down and touch your heels. Take a deep breath, exhale, tuck the chin, round the back. Try and bring the forehead as close to your knees as you can. Then grab your heels and lift the hips up until the arms are straight. You're on the crown of your head, but very little weight is on your head. It's mostly on your hands, your arms. Good. Exhale. Bring those hips down. And inhale as you roll on up. Beautiful. Okay. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it out. Good. Bring the hips up, cross the ankles, and sit back, rolling over them. Let's do a seated twist next. So the legs are out in front of us. We bring the right foot in, cross it over the left. And this foot or leg can stay straight, but you can also bring it back to the opposite hip like so. We're sitting tall. We inhale, right arm up. Exhale that hand behind us. Inhale the left arm up. Exhale that elbow over the knee. Inhale, sit tall, and exhale as you look back over the shoulder. Good. Inhale, let's come on back. And exhale, we extend those legs. Let's do the left side. Same thing here. This is the half king of fishes pose. It's the name of this one. So inhale that left arm up. Exhale it behind. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale the elbow over the knee. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, look back. Good. Inhale, let's come on back to center. And exhale, we take those legs out in front of us. Inhale, the right arms out in front, or our arms out in front, and exhale, come on back. Good. All right. Now let's go ahead and bring our legs in. We'll give them a little squeeze. Give them a little hug. And let's do a little bit of inversion work here, okay? So we work progressively, starting from really safe and easy to a little more challenging. Nothing too crazy though. So hands under the hips, palms down, legs go straight up. That is called Saral Viparita Karani. You could rest your feet on a wall, you could put your hips on a block or a blanket, so you can make it even easier, gentler if you like. To go a step further, you swing your feet toward the ground behind you. The feet may reach the ground or they might not. That's okay either way. You'll notice I've interlaced my fingers and I'm joining my palms together. That's the traditional grip for this, okay? And this is plow pose. Okay, I can go a step further, grabbing my hips. I take my legs up, and this is the shoulder stand. So regardless of if you're doing this or not, it is generally a good idea for you to get your head or your heart above your head on a semi-regular basis. So it's just good for your cardiovascular health. So if you can't do yoga inversions, maybe think about getting an inversion table, something where you can be upside down for a little bit. All right, with our exhale, let's bend our knees and we'll slowly come back down to earth. Let's do the fish, which is a traditional counter posture for what we just did. Take my legs out, my feet are flexed, and then I slide my hands, or fingers rather, under my buttocks and thighs. So it's like I'm kind of holding the side of my buttocks with my hands, all right? And then I press into the elbows, I lift the upper body, arch, and just gently, very gently touch the crown of my head to the ground. Good. Inhale, press into the elbows. Exhale, relax, come on back. Deep breath in, exhale with a sigh. Good. Let's bring our feet in, grab the soles of the feet, little happy baby here. Just give everything one last stretch. And then Shavasana, the corpse pose. Heels apart, palms up, head centered, chin tucked in slightly, eyes closed.